You know, there are reports of an alleged revolt taking place within the Trudeau Liberal caucus. Now, the Prime Minister is losing 4 more cabinet ministers who've decided not to seek re-election. They are Marie-Claude Bebeau, Carla Qualtrough, Dan Vandal, and Philomena Tassi. So what is going on within the Liberal Party? Dan McTeague may have some answers for us. He's a former Liberal MP who served under both Jean Chrétien and Paul Martin. He joins us now from Milton, Ontario. Dan, the 4 cabinet ministers who are not seeking re-election say they're leaving for very personal reasons, and it has absolutely nothing to do with Justin Trudeau. Are you buying that?
I mean, yeah, I believe that. Look, there's 16 Liberal MPs, including the 4 cabinet ministers, who are not going to run next time. And I think there's a wider sense among the 152 Liberal MPs that their chances of winning are maybe 1 in 6. If I look at the numbers very correctly, every poll's indicating no more than 40 to 50 will be returned, maybe even less than that. So we're looking at an evisceration of the Liberal Party on a scale we haven't seen since 2011, when I was defeated, and possibly even further than that, going back to 1984. It's likely that the Liberal Party will wind up 3rd, maybe even 4th in the next federal election. And it demonstrates the extent to which this party and its caucus was so loyal to the leader that they didn't tell him the truth last year when he should have left. Now it may very well be too late. It doesn't matter who comes in, they will inherit this poison chalice.
Dan, could we actually see Justin Trudeau step down as party leader, maybe the party appointed new leader to help them rebuild before the next federal election? And if so, who would Trudeau's successor be?
Very hard to say. There are a lot of people whose names have been bandied about. We know Chrystia Freeland. We know Mark Carney. There may be a few others that are, out in the thicket, but it doesn't really matter at this stage. We're looking at a scenario where it could be very much a John Turner or even a Kim Campbell moment for the Liberal Party. I'm not unconvinced the Liberal Party may very well cease to exist well into after this next election, and may have to recover under a very different name with a very different set of policies, certainly policies that will bring them back to the center, which they abandoned under Justin Trudeau. In 2011, the party went down to 3rd place. It would have taken a couple of elections to rebuild. Instead, it got a quick fix with the name Trudeau. Very appealing to some people in urban areas across Canada, but you could see that is short-lived. And now that he's out of the way, or potentially out of the way, there really isn't much in the way of a succession plan for the Liberal Party. I think it's going to be a number of very tough years with very limited number of seats in the House of Commons.
Now, the latest polls have the Conservatives with at least a 20% lead over the Liberals in many ridings across the country. The Tories are even leading in many parts of Toronto, which has traditionally been a Liberal stronghold. Does any of this surprise you?
It surprises me historically, but it doesn't surprise me realistically. I speak to a lot of people and they're very upset. Their standard of living has been badly compromised. People believe that the country is broken, and they also aren't prepared to let Mr. Trudeau and company off scot-free. They believe that a lot of things that have happened, from migration to rising crime to unaffordability as a result of the government meddling with green taxes, has contributed in no small way to the decline in Canada. And I think Canadians are now finally holding this leader's feet to the fire.
Thanks so much for your time today, Dan. That was former Ontario Liberal MP Dan McTeague joining us from Milton, Ontario.